Okay, so it's been about 7 or 8 months since my college started. Today's date is November 20th, 2022, and it started around April 4th, 2022, depending on when you're watching this. So I just wanted to share my experiences and thoughts about the college and what I've experienced so far. My name is Murari, and I'm a first year student at NRI Medical College, Chinnakakani or Mangagiri, not Vizag. So, this has been a wild ride of a year. I mean, it's a new college, new friends, new teachers, new beginnings. I don't know exactly where to start because there's so much that happened, and there's a lot that's going on right now, and there's a lot about to happen. Because right now we're having our pre-finals, and like our final exams are approaching fast, so stress levels are skyrocketing. So, why don't we start with what happens during a day at college? Because that's like my daily routine. So basically, I get ready and go to college by 8:30, and then there's two classes from 8:30 to 10:30, and after that, from 10:30 to 12:30 is dissection. So we go to the dissection hall, and then they'll have like 2 hours of dissection class, basically anatomy, and then from 12:30 to 1:30 is the lunch break, and there's a nice canteen as well. 1:30 to 2:30 another class depending on the schedule. So from 2:30 to 4:30 every day there are labs. Depending on the schedule, it's either one of the subjects. There are three subjects, right? Anatomy, physiology, or biochemistry. So it could be either of those during a day. And except for Saturday and Friday. On Fridays, instead of labs, we have ECE, which is early clinical exposure. They'll take us to the hospital, and some of the hospital staff or somebody will educate us about what's going on, or we could see the patients or clinical cases that come. And on Saturdays, there's either games or yoga. So attendance is both manual and biometric every day. And manual means like, they tick your roll number present. And biometric is like they give like a small little machine that will scan your face and then give you a present. Okay, so this college has both pros and cons. Let's start with the cons first. This college is no doubt one of the best colleges in the state, but it is extremely strict. I mean, I don't say it's a bad thing to be strict, but sometimes I feel like it's a little bit too much. Like, compared to other colleges, it's definitely very strict. For example, phones are not allowed. I mean, if they get caught, you're in big, big trouble, and you won't get your phone back for like days, maybe even a month. I don't know. But that is one thing. Obviously, I don't support phones in class using them or whatever, but I feel like it's a little bit unnecessarily strict. And then the second thing is there's uniforms. Like, to be frank, I hated them at the beginning, but I'm starting to like think they're okay now because I'm getting used to wearing them every day, I guess. I'm not sure, but I was never a fan of the uniform. So another thing is there's a lot of tests and homeworks. I mean, every weekend you'll have a test, just like in any intermediate college. I mean, there's weekend tests, slip tests, and system completion tests. Whatever it is, you'll have one every Monday probably, and you have to study all Sunday for that. And it gets a little bit overwhelming. But I mean, I find it helpful because we at least study for that and then it works in the end. So I'm not complaining too much about that. But then there's also sometimes I feel unnecessary homeworks. We just write the homework for the sake of the lecturer or whatever. They just say to write it like 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, like an imposition or something. So yeah, and by imposition I mean like punishments. Like if you skip an exam or something, it's going to be pretty heavy on you. Whatever punishment is going to come, you're going to have to face it. And one more negative thing about this college, the main negative thing I think, is that it detains so many students compared to other colleges. This college probably has the highest detain rate that I've seen. I mean, I've talked to my friends in many other medical colleges, and they have not even heard the word detain, it seems. Like, I mean, they've heard of it, but they don't even think it's a huge deal. But for us, it is. That's like our fear constantly. We're just thinking we should not get noted by anyone for irregular behavior. We should not get detained. Getting detained should only be for like a good reason, like having low attendance or like not behaving properly, or just getting like extremely low marks with no improvement and signs of you being in no way a serious student at all. So enough of the negative aspects. What about the positives? I mean, its maintenance is extraordinary. I have never seen any college maintained so neatly, so well. I mean, this college has the best cleaning team, the best faculty, the best staff. And for one thing, I have to give a round of applause to the cleaning team of the college. I mean, they're amazing. Every single corner of the college is kept clean and tidy, and they're always seen sweeping everywhere. The workers are constantly at it, hardworking and very, very dedicated. And I have seen throughout this year how neatly and how well maintained the dissection hall and the labs were all taken care of so well. And I really applaud all of the people that did that, and I feel very proud and thankful and grateful to all of them. And the professors are very good. Like in other colleges, I mean, I have friends that have gone to other colleges, and talking to them, I've heard about how their teachers teach and stuff. And compared to all of that, I can tell you that NRI has some of the best departments here and like the best faculty. They teach with passion, and they want us to pass, and they want us to learn the subject and get a grip on the knowledge and how to do stuff and the practical things that come out of this. I feel like they all genuinely want us to acquire the knowledge that we need to in first year and pass on to the second year, and do so while having a little bit of fun. And one thing I've observed in each of the departments is that they try to actually show some personal attention on the student. Like they try to actually help you improve. Like they'll tell you, come and ask me doubts or something, and you can feel free to do that. I feel like it's a very nurturing environment for you as a first year student. And when it comes to fests, like events or programs like Freshers Day and whatever, I feel like that's kind of both a negative and a positive aspect, because I know the college would normally have more fests, and like we had actually planned a program like the college annual day or something like that, for like a 3 day kind of fest and sports events and all. But those were all cancelled because of the exam final dates were announced by the National Medical Council, and because of that we were kind of unprepared. Everyone was unprepared because the seniors had like a very early date for the exam, and so did we. So it was kind of like a realization that we have to study and stop all the events and probably postpone them to the future. They said they would postpone it. I don't know if that's going to happen or not for sure, but hopefully it will. So coming to the mistakes that I've made, I wish I hadn't made these mistakes, and I hope that the juniors, upcoming juniors, will not make the same mistakes. The first one, the main one of all, is that I was not reading enough. I think it's a must that I should have read at least 1 hour, or at least half an hour a day since the starting, because that would have helped a lot. I kept waiting till the last minute, and then once exams came, then I would start cramming and like pulling all nighters and stuff, and that does not help at all. I mean, it does help a bit, but it's not a healthy thing to do, and it would help way more if I actually studied 1 hour a day and completed stuff instead of cramming in the last minute. I mean, I was listening to classes and stuff, but I wasn't like actually going home and taking out my books and writing a notes from the beginning or whatever. Something that would help me revise in the position that I am right now, because right now is my pre-finals and I don't have any notes like that to revise. And now my stress level is like going way up, and I'm literally getting notifications from my watch saying your stress is too high. And I should have studied for every slip test. I kind of took them a bit lightly because they were like just slip tests or whatever in the beginning. I stopped doing that, and I started catching up and studying for slip tests too now. So one more thing I think is I have a very low attention span. So some classes I just did not listen to at all. I was like zoned out the whole class or something. And that is something you want to make sure not to do. If you listen to every single word of the class, you get half the subject there itself. And when you're reading, it's like you're just kind of reinforcing it into your brain. So one more mistake I did was that, and I hope any future juniors won't do that. So coming to two final advices that I would like to give. So the first thing is draw and write your own records. I suggest you don't give it to anyone else to write it, because the things that you write and you draw, you'll tend to remember, because eventually you'll have to learn and draw the same diagram in the exam. So when you give it to somebody else, you're not really going to learn anything or gain any like experience from that. I mean, you'll have some kind of idea of muscle memory of how you drew it and how you labeled which part and whatever. And the second final advice is to choose your friends wisely in the beginning, because there's going to be a lot of people in your class, and I would suggest you choose your friends like people that are good at heart, that will make you laugh, that have fun, and study as well. So just be careful in the beginning with who you're talking to and who you're getting close with and whatever. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one whenever it comes out. Bye.